last year's result?
Well, last year it humbled us very. We thought we were pretty good, but first of all, like I said, I told Mike before the game, I really appreciate him coming out here. They really have nothing to gain from it, other than good experience. Our gym, as you guys, some of you know, is a great. We get great crowds. The music playing, all the students standing up, so it's a good atmosphere. But I really appreciate Mike coming out here, and they handed it to us last year, and we got a lot of seniors, and they were missing Jarius tonight. But our defensive effort was fantastic tonight, and we were all over BJ. He killed us last year. We weren't ready for him. He had 20-some points, 5 or 6 dunks. And I don't know if you saw, Matt Ricketts coming from behind. Yeah, Matt's 5'8", JJ, Nick. We were fronting him, playing behind him, and I'm sure that wasn't very fun for him. But the effort with this kid, and these guys played hard last year, so it was a great win, and it's good for Montgomery County basketball. And I said, I think we've played DeMatha 5 times now since I've been here in 23 years, and I always my first 2 times were against Morgan, I believe, and then the last 3 against Mike, and they got a class program.
This is your second win in those 5?
Yes. Yeah, we beat them in 2004 in their Christmas tournament, and I think it was Mike's either first or second year.
How does this game stack up for you? I know you've won multiple state championships, but coming back off a team where you're losing your 2 bigs,
right?
I mean, you've got one of the best backcourts in the area, public or private, but down low, you lost Luke and Garland, and playing a team with a player like BJ.
Yeah.
And to be able to come out successful, how does this stack up?
Well, it's a great win, but I'm a public school coach. I've been 23 years here and 4 years at Seneca Valley, and you coach with what you have. I'm probably not really good at coaching too many big guys. So over the years, when you get in the playoffs and you play teams that have good, big guys. We've learned how to make it happen, and with the double teams, the help on the backside, and the pressure on the ball. We also wanted to pressure the ball really nice, so we couldn't throw pinpoint passes there.
It seemed like when you were doing such a good job of double, tripling BJ, and the defense was sagging, they were getting a lot of really good perimeter looks.
Yeah, Henson knocked down his first 3.
They knocked down a handful of threes. At one point, did you think about
we made
laying off a little bit?
No, we just made a little adjustment. We were trying to go through the screens, and against a great shooter like that, you just got to trail him.
Yeah.
So then Nick and Matt just started trailing the shooter, and hey, we're not going to stop him from catching it. Let's just make sure when he catches it, there's a hand in his face. So we made a little adjustment there, but also, I thought our ball movement in that second quarter was just that's as good as we can do. We really spread the floor. Got a couple of layups and hit some big threes. Tyree Jackson a big 3. Ryan Rucker hit a couple of big threes, and we're not just Nick Griffin shooting. They really focused on Nick tonight, and the other guys stepped up, and we had great ball movement. When we shoot well, but we usually shoot well when we pass well. I'd say other than JJ's pull-up 3, almost all our threes were on assists tonight.
Yeah.
I know you weren't.
JJ, right.
Yeah, JJ's just fantastic. He sprained his knee at the St. John scrimmage last Tuesday. He's been getting treatment every day. That kid's a warrior. He's 4-team All-Met last year. He's just, him and Nick Griffin, I think the best backcourt in the history of Montgomery County. There's been a lot of great backcourts, and I've been around for a long time, but together they're both fantastic. And JJ, he's just a hard matchup. And he's just fearless, sometimes too fearless. Sometimes he's not afraid to challenge BJ out there. I don't want him to, because I don't want him to get hurt. He gets knocked down so much, but he was just fantastic.
What did you say about that he was going to be able to go?
He told me he thought he could, not till yesterday. I said, we'll see how you do in practice, and we're still scrimmaging a little bit in practice. It's early in the season, and I said, wake up, see how you feel. He scrimmaged yesterday, he looked good, and then, he stepped up there tonight, and, he's just fantastic.
Was there a point when you knew he was going to be okay in the game where, you saw him?
You know what, I think he hit, one of those floaters, those Tony Parker teardrops. He had 2 of those tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an incredible shot. That's an incredible shot. So I was really, and when he hit that shot, hey, he's been working on that all year, and that's like we tell him, you're not gonna get to the rim for too many layups. Got a couple, but get that little teardrop shot, and and his pull-up jumper, is fantastic.
What can you say about Brian Coleman's performance? He has some big shoes to fill this year.
Yeah, and Brian sprained his ankle. He's only about 70-80%, but he didn't get much playing time last year, and he just battled. He was working with BJ, and he's a senior. He's hungry. He didn't get he was our 9th man last year, and unfortunately only played 8. So he was really hungry this year, and he's a warrior. He's a battler.
And as far as preparing for BJ, I mean, you don't really have someone that can mock a BJ on you in practice. What did you do leading up to it that got you guys as ready as you were?
Well, we went over it in practice a couple times, and we did get a couple drills. Went and did some shell drill with the post player, and just really fronting him. Not letting him get it deep. Definitely not letting him get underneath the basket. He gets underneath the basket. He just dunked on us last year, and so we worked on it in practice. And sometimes you can work on that for 3 weeks straight. And it's not going to work in a game. Our basketball IQ for these guys is just tremendous. I mean, you guys saw us play last year. I mean, we averaged 69, 68 points a game, but we were able to win a state championship scoring 39. So they know what it takes to win. So they, I didn't have to go over it for a week or something. We had 2 practices. We worked on it for about 10, 15 minutes. And they pick it up.
And you scrimmage Paul of 6. Do you think that helped it?
Oh yeah, definitely helped us. Paul of 6 has got some big boys, and we battled them. Glenn Ferrello had called me the next day and said, I'm friends with Glenn. And said, "Hey Dan, your guys battled. Your guys battled." So I said tonight, I'm glad we held on one. Got a couple turnovers there at the end, but either way, these kids just don't let up, and they didn't let up last year. Always kidding them. Our state championship team in 2001, Isaiah Swan and Pele, they were great players, but they took off plays sometimes. These guys just don't take off plays. And I think that stems from JJ. He just, no one. You can go back to the 70s and ask all the veteran coaches, has a motor like that kid. He just got a heart and a motor that's just incredible.
It's Capital Hoops here with Magruder senior shooting guard Nick Griffin. Nick, you come out tonight defending state champions, had a hell of a summer playing with Team Takeover. First game of the season, you play against DeMatha, number 20 in the nation right now, I believe. Played them last year at their place. They got the better of you, although you did come back in the second half and hold your own in the second half last year against them. What were the expectations coming into this game?
We knew DeMatha, that's a great team right there. We knew it was going to be a battle to the end of the game. We knew they were going to have their runs. We knew we were going to have our runs. We just tried to keep playing as a team and play together, just pull out the win.
Now, everyone knows that you guys have, one of the best returning backcourts, in the county, public or private. You, Justin, and JJ, but the loss of Garland and Luke is huge. And you're playing a team with, a top 5-6 center in the country who, is signed with a big-time program. What were your thoughts coming into the game on the new front court players and how they were going to able to fit into your scheme and contain BJ to the extent that they did?
Rebounding is definitely key to us. We come in to game scrimmage in Paul the 6 Gonzaga guys with a big, stellar, big man front court players. So that was a big test for us, and we knew that we were going to have to rebound as a team, gang rebound, whatever we needed to do to try to contain BJ and all the other big men.
Last thing, tell us real quick about this summer, how your summer went.
This summer I played with Team Takeover. It was a great experience for me. I got to test my skills against some of the best players around the world, see what I needed to add this summer and see what I needed, what I knew was already good for me. And so it was a great experience.
What did you discover? What parts of your game do you think you need to fine tune before you step onto the GW campus?
Definitely ball handling. A couple times I lost it in night, a couple turnovers, but definitely ball control and just being stronger with the basketball and making moves on people and shooting up the dribble and stuff like that.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Nick. We'll be seeing a lot of you this year.
Appreciate it.
All right. Capital Hoops here with JJ Epps. JJ, big fan of Capital Hoops last year. Won a state championship from Magruder. Followed you the whole season. A lot of people in the public feel like you had your coming out party at the Comcast Center last year. Those huge shots in overtime against Sherwood and then again in the state championship really made a name for yourself in the in the basketball scene around here. But you come out first game tonight and you beat the number 20 team in the country, and you bring the house down. 18 points in the first half. No one can stop you, dribbling in and out of everybody. What is it? Talk about how this. it's a different situation winning the state championship, but outside of that state championship game, how does this game rank as the biggest wins in your career outside of the state championship?
I mean, it ranks pretty high. You know, DeMatha is probably, for us seniors, the biggest game and probably the most competition that we're going to get at the next level. You know what I mean? Going to college, that's probably going to be the biggest game that we have. So, I mean, it's really important that we got this win. And, you know, last year they beat us, and we had that one on the end of our record, but this year we feel like we can repeat again, and it's not going to be a one there.
You foul out with 2 minutes left. Did you know you have 4 fouls when you have 4 fouls?
No, I had no idea because the scoreboard wasn't working that showed the score.
Because it looked like you had 4 fouls and you made an aggressive defensive play that I feel like someone who had 4 fouls probably wouldn't make.
Yeah,
so I was just curious what was going on.
I had no idea that I had 4 fouls.
Yeah, how devastated were you when they told you you had 5?
I mean, I was pretty devastated. You know, I looked at the scoreboard, the guy put his hand up and said, the score table, and the guy put his hand up and said I had 5. So, I mean, there was nothing I could do about it at that point but cheer my team on, and that they got the win for us.
So let's talk about the rest of the season. You play outside of maybe a Christmas tournament, all Montgomery County teams. Montgomery County, you've dominated over the last, ever since you broke Springbrook's winning streak, it's been Magruder basketball, and the number 2 team is notches below. So how is it going to be playing against competition that's probably not up to par with you, and then come state championship time, you're going to be playing against the Roosevelts, you're going to be playing against these teams that are in the league of DeMatha, and you know, just talk about how the season, how you're going to be able to stay on the top of your game so you're prepared for the level of competition that potentially you will face if you make it back to Comcast.
I mean, we just got to take every game like it's DeMatha. You know, we got to look at every game like we're playing DeMatha, and Coach always tells us he has us practicing for the better teams. Like he doesn't let us take off no plays in practice, doesn't let us slack. Like we're practicing for the better teams, so that when that time comes, we will be ready.
JJ, we appreciate it, and we look forward to following you all year.
I came to with
Look how thin you got. You really toned up. Why you made a big girl? Come on, man. She took the dog and everything. It's calling, man. You better hurry up and get it.
So when it happened, did you think that, you know, any chance you were going to be back today?